Ready to Love, they got down to the nitty gritty. Hey, hey, sweet people, we are back. The chat suite here with another wonderful chat with a recap of Ready to Love and the chat suite commentary. This week, we have 6 guys left and 5 girls. Tommy gave them an assignment this time. Each week is going to be some kind of assignment. The assignment this week was to meet their closest friends. So they had to have their number ones meet their closest friends. And it seemed as if there was a prescribed formula for the friend group, because in each guy had a couple of his guy friends, and they had one girl. And I think, this is my opinion, I don't know what you think about this, Bev, but it's my opinion that Tommy was like, well, we better have because the guys might get caught in the matrix of the femininity and the beauty and not necessarily just be objective in seeing if that person, they thought that there was really a connection between the guy and his perspective. Okay, they were going to give their perspective on the prospect.
So I agree with that, which I think is kind of needed. Like it's good to have that female perspective as it relates to, because we can see stuff, and we know
can see stuff. The sister friend is gonna give you the truth tea. They're gonna tell it like it is.
That's right. So they needed one of the good girlfriends in there to make sure that they weren't getting so caught up on the physical aspect of a person, and really trying to see where they're coming from. Do you mean my guy well? Right. Are you gonna do right by him? So I like that they threw one of the girlfriends in there to kind of see. But the guys too were like, didn't seem like they were taken by the beauty. They were sort of listening in to make sure that, again, their friend was
a connection. Yeah. Some type of, or they were really there for the right reason. They were asking the questions, the good questions, the important questions.
Yes.
We started off with Joelle and Bernicia. And that's like our fan favorite. We love them. However, I think Joelle felt some kind of way about some of Bernicia's responses. She made a couple faux pas, I think, when she said, "I'm territorial," and I don't think men like to hear that. I'm territorial. This is my baby. He my baby. I don't my boo. That's what she said. This is my boo, and I don't like to share. I plan to be the first couple to get married. I think she just should have just quieted down just a little bit, because the girlfriend, she caught that as a true sister friend would. She's like, wait a minute now.
Yes.
She might be jumping the gun. Y'all on the show. I mean, true enough, you might have those feelings, which we all have had feelings early, but you kind of hold on to those. You don't necessarily let that out right away. What you say?
Slow your roll. Slow
it down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Because, but it's so funny that dynamic, because, sometimes when you are in a relationship with a gentleman, or you've been in a relationship with one, and then sometimes they give you that false feeling like you can make some of those moves faster than you can, or you can say some of those statements when they give you that sense of security, like, it's you, baby, you're the one. And then you think you can start like staking your claim and squaring off your territory, and then all of a sudden they hit you with the information that you can't, like, and they, to put you back in your place, and you think like, oh my God. And so that is like, I kind of understood what Venetia. I think people take that type of conversation too literal. Just when there's, like she's saying, I'm territorial. I know, don't say that word. And, I'm possessive. Nobody wants to hear that, really. But sometimes it's just women just saying, like, when I'm in it, I'm a one-woman man. When I'm committed to somebody, I'm with them. And I just don't want any interference. And I'm not, sometimes nowadays, you might have to be completely clear about this, because there's so many different situations going on. So a woman might just want you to know, like, I'm not here playing the games. I'm a one-woman man, and I'm letting you know that I want you. But then, like I said, you communicate that, and it gets all taken wrong. And it's like, oh man, like, I didn't even mean that. So
I know, I know. I think it's a way she could have said it because to me, when we're gonna jump to when Kyra and them are down a little, they came a little later in the episode, but the way she said some things to me, it was sort of like almost leaning towards the same sentiment as Vernisha, but she just didn't say it like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that yeah, Vernisha probably should have chosen her words a little differently because that left Joel feeling. It seemed like he was feeling uncomfortable. Just his or and his expression was sort of just like blank, and he didn't seem like they had that same little loving vibe they've been having throughout the other episodes. You know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
almost seemed like he was getting ready to feel like you're not coming into this to tell me what to do or something. It was really weird. I was like, oh my God. Like
Right.
I always feel like don't get off on that track because that, that's rough for adults.
And then our another couple, Chris and Amber. Oh, I love their vibe. They just seem so just open and their communication and she gave all the right answers with his friends. You know, they were asking, you know, what is important and how, if something were to go wrong, what would you do? She's like, I address it head on, you know, communication is key. And she just gave all the right answers from what I saw, from my viewpoint. You think that, do you agree?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Shani, I would have never thought when this came on, they introduced the cast. Never in my mind did I even look at Chris and Amber as an option.
I agree.
Never.
I agree.
So their connection is really like blowing me away, but I love it at the same time. And didn't anticipate they would be as magnetic as a couple as they are showing themselves to be.
I didn't think so either.
I know. I'm super excited for them too right now because I'm just like, wow, like they really may have something.
I wonder. You know? I mean, I hope so. I hope so because I think there's a bit of an age difference between them. That's why I didn't necessarily see them as connecting like that because she's 31 and he's 42.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's a little bit of a gap. That's interesting. That's interesting. I knew it was, like I said, I just didn't see them, but they are coming in as like a number one contender. I mean, really zoning in on that's my number one. That's my number one. And they are like not looking at anybody else.
I mean, never wavered at all. You know, since the first time they kind of went on their first little solo date or whatever. You know, it's like they've never wavered. It seems as though.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that really struck me is when he said when the friends were kind of taken aback when she said that she hadn't let anyone in her family know about him, and he said he didn't see anything wrong with that because he felt the same way. But I agree because sometimes when you tell them too soon, you know, it's like you get these false hopes up and it's like grand opening, grand closing.
Right. I agree with, I'm with you and Chris and Amber when you like, that makes sense because she's on the show. She's like, I don't know which way this is going to go. Is it I love or go off with somebody else? So I'm with her. I wouldn't have. I wonder if the family knew that she was on the show. That's what I was wondering. I was like,
I hope they knew that now. Well, I don't know. Maybe not you. You might not have told. They may not have told because they don't see them. You know, right away. She could have played it off. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But all right. Well, moving on to our next couple.
Yes.
Jason, Liz, and Kyra. Now I will say Jason was wrong for not letting them know that they both were going to be on a date with him. No, he was wrong for that.
Right. I don't like that either, Shani.
Because it seemed like Kyra was feeling some kind of way about it. Because the way her body language, she was like, It just like she felt some kind of way. She said it in her little confession that she felt some kind of way about it, but she got over it. I think she was the class act, you know.
Right.
She made the best of the situation.
She did. And even Liz too. Remember, she was like, okay, Kyra.
Yeah, right. She did. She did.
Right.
She did. Liz was a class act too.
Yeah, always. She is. That's who she is for sure. But yeah, come on. Let me hear your take on this. It
was kind of different. I mean, Liz, the friends got an impression of Liz that they said that she was too stiff. Remember the girl said, I felt like I was sitting next to the Lord or Jesus or something.
I started to pray. Oh my God.
I was like, oh, she's wrong for that.
I'm like, I don't know why everybody's coming for Liz and her, religion. Like she said, hey, I love Jesus Christ. I mean, and what she's saying is perfectly 1000% okay and wonderful because we love them both
Exactly.
too. And so we understand, but that still doesn't mean she can't have a good time and that she's not a good time person. So, people don't let that make you feel that men, women, whomever don't, just because someone is in their religion and in their faith, that doesn't mean that they cannot be a great, fun person too.
Exactly. I mean, I felt I was like, oh, but then I was wondering, like, what happened? Like, was it planned that she left earlier than the other girl? Or I don't know. You think that was planned? I'm not sure about that, but
I was
I mean, I
wondering
guess
too.
you think it was because she left, and then Kyra was there with them, and then Kyra, she just won them over because they were singing the praises of Kyra, and I thought that was, it seemed as though to me their vibe is better, is stronger, and more livelier than his vibe with Liz.
Right.
That's my thing. And it was one other thing I had some notes I had put down. That Kyra was more compatible. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is the line when he said, I want to admit that Kyra and I have reached a different level already.
No, yeah.
What you trying to say, Jason? What's that mean? I'm like, wait, hold up. What's that mean? Come again? What?
And even not to go too far in, but even at the end, when when people were making their choices, and he made a comment about, we've been kissing. I mean,
right? Not no pecking, just kissing.
Right, kissing. This is for real. I was like, what? What? But maybe they just been kissing.
Yeah, I was just like, what does that mean? I need to know more about that. Tell us more, okay?
We want to see the edits on the floor, Tommy.
Right? Because that is something like what they've been doing. True, that we've gone already. We have gone on a different level already. Okay. Well, maybe it just means that they have connected on that, higher level, whatever, that they more committed than others. Let's hope that means that. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if it don't mean that, they grown. So it's whatever, Yeah. So and I know another plus for her was that she asked. Remember, Jason thought this was something that she asked questions, and Liz didn't. I don't think. Well, at least they didn't show she didn't. But remember, he said Kyra really asked questions about him, finding out more about him, wanting to know more about him. But his friends thought. So I thought that was cute. So I'm for them. Kyra and Jason. That's what I want.
Oh my God, the jury's still out for me. They have me all thrown out of sync right now. I just, because I'm thinking, really, like Kyra? I don't know. I have to see this next episode, Shotty. I have to see it.
Well, honey, Kyra is the truth, right? Because what happened later on. We're gonna get to that part. So then we go to Kyra and AJ. Now that to me was uneventful. I didn't really feel the vibe on that.
Yep.
I mean, it was like, the friends were cool. They got along with her. She was whatever. They did say she was guarded. I feel like she's guarded because I don't think she really likes him like that. I think she's more in tune with Jason than him.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, don't be another. What's some people on the last one? Don't be another. Remember that girl who chose? Remember she had those two. She was with the two guys, and she chose.
Was it Adriana and Calfani and?
Don't be an Adriana.
Right, and Rashid the car.
Yes,
right.
Don't be an Adriana.
That's right. Yeah,
she made the wrong choice.
That's right. It got dropped right after that.
Exactly.
That's right. Calfani had to back with his ex-woman. So bye, Adriana. Was her name Adriana?
She's beautiful. Adriana. I think it was that.
Adriana.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. So.
And then we get to our last but not least, our couple, Ron, Chrysanthemum, and Alexis. They meet me in the club. They met in the club with the friends. I'm like, why would they choose that? Why would he choose the club to meet? I didn't understand that. That was not the best scenario to me, to talk about meeting your closest friends, having to meet somebody who you interested in, being with or choosing or whatever. So I didn't like that. And once again, he didn't let the girls know that they were going to be there together.
Right.
Which I guess maybe that's part of the show's theme or whatever. Don't tell them, surprise them. So yeah. And Alexis was being a little hater a little bit. I mean, I didn't want to say that, but it's like she always want to say stuff about, I mean, Chrysanthemum, I wasn't the biggest fan of Chrysanthemum, but I mean, Alexis is like, I feel like she's just was being a little hater, talking about what she had on. But they was at a club, right? It looked like it was a club.
It did look like, to me, it was a club and lounge. I mean, and she's like, you're dressing like you're going to the strip club? And I was like, wait a minute, now that's a little much. You don't have to say that. And then she commented on her looks. And
she's pretty. Well, you're pretty, but you're not talking. You're not saying that. You only give one word answers or something like that.
And Shani, that's the second time she's mentioned something about her looks, because before in one of the other episodes, she said something about, oh yeah, she would make a good trophy wife. And I was like, wait a minute now. I mean, this is like, you totally stereotyping her, I believe, just because the way she looked, and a lot leading to just her fair complexion and what people might have, how this has been a huge situation in the African-American community, the Black community, whichever people prefer to say, just on, this whole colorism thing. And you see someone that's fair complected and is automatically, oh, this could be the trophy wife, but you see someone that's of a different, a little bit more melanin in their skin, and I'm the one that can be taken more serious and the one that I'll, be the best in the relationship. And I'm just like, wait a minute now, don't.
Right, because why couldn't she? Why couldn't she be the trophy wife? I mean, I was like, why do you think that she was that Chrysanthemum would have been the trophy wife, not as opposed to yourself being a trophy? I mean, trophy wife, because, like you said, it's because of those old time stereotypes.
Yeah, they still plague our community, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Get it off of us, people. We have to get it off of us as a society. Men move past it, women move past it, because it's just so funny. I know we're not going to get on that, but all of a sudden, it seemed like years ago when all women were like, oh my goodness, like I want him tall, dark, and handsome. And that became like such a big thing to say. And then women, I mean, but if a man is just like, I want her tall, light, and beautiful, then people would be offended by that.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. So every time women say that, I always think like, I wonder what the fair complected guys are like. Do they feel like, oh wow, why you guys keep leaving us out? So, but we know all that. That's a whole nother conversation and a whole big conversation. We talk about fun time reality TV.
But I do want to say one thing on that. We can cut out, but one thing I think maybe because it was always like understood, was like a silent something that was understood, that other aspect, the light, was always more appealing, and that's why. So that's when people started saying, when it shifted, and they were like tall, dark, and handsome. Mm-hmm. That's what they say, those words.
Yeah,
it was Yeah, but like you say, let's not even go down that rabbit hole. So we're gonna move on to the rest of the little interaction.
Yes, come on, family. We got
right.
Ready to love. That's the role.
Love, right. Said that she didn't like an interview. She was getting offended, not offended, but feeling uncomfortable about them straight up just asking her questions. She wanted to be organic, but I feel her on that.
Me too.
I guess, because I'm like that too. I don't just barrage me with a bunch of, like a list of questions like we on the interview. You know what? Right. Let's talk.
Right.
So I feel her on that.
Me too. I was with Chrysanthemum. I was really with her with that. I was just like, and we're in the club, like, let's just have a good time. We're talking. I don't care. We're sitting at dinner and it's a quiet space. Just, like you said, you hit me one after the other with questions and just have a natural conversation to see who I am. Because I also could play the game when you questioning me like this and have all the right answers. Just, that game could get played. But if you talk to me organically, you really might find out who I am.
Real answer, right? The real. You get the real.
And so she was another one who was like, well, see you all later.
Yes, I got to get out of here. I'm done with this. I just think I'm done. Done, son.
So she's like, bye, I'm getting out of here. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I understood that. I really did.
But then it was funny when Ron said, because they said she doesn't talk a lot, and then Ron, that's what remember his friends was like, she didn't really talk that much. She says, yeah, we don't talk much, but we understand each other. What? How? What do you mean?
What did that mean? Because and again, not to push forward, but when in the end, when they were having the deliberation in the men's lounge, remember he came to her defense when Chris was talking about.
He did.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm sorry. No,
you good. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? It's like, how can y'all be anything if you don't talk? You can't what? Y'all understand each other how? Anyway. Okay, last but not least.
Give us these scenes from the floor, please.
Right. Yes, the uncut, unedited version of it.
Yes.
David and Liz.
Oh my God. Baby. Oh my goodness. He has done an okie doke here. So come on.
Wrong road, David. Wrong road.
Wrong road. That's a wrong road for real. Like, come on, Shine. You got to let the family know. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. David, like seriously though? To me, I feel like he's immature. Okay, because I felt as though he was feeling some kind of way about the kiss between Liz and Jason, but how she was honest with him and she let him know right the same night it happened so that he wouldn't find out from the gentleman's lounge or from the ladies' lounge or from anybody that happened. And she made it clear that he was her number one and she still was gunning for him.
Right.
But yet, that doesn't mean anything to you, sir? You're on a show, dude. You've been out with other women too, but
number one. That's number one. Say it again. You are on a show. Thank you, Johnny. You are on a show.
My gosh. I was just like, oh. And it's just like it seemed like he just. It
was just really interesting with her at that dinner. I mean, and again, we don't see everything and hear everything, but a lot of his, because I watched their dinner situation a bunch of times. I rewound it. I kept going because I really wanted to see. I said the way he was reacting to her, it was almost as if she was saying that it was a different level of intimacy that happened between them. I mean, and literally, we don't know all the kisses that happened on the merry-go-round. On the Ferris wheel, but right. But from what we could see, it was a peck. It wasn't a big French kiss or anything like that. And if it had been, we are on a show and we are getting to know one another to see who we're ready to love. And so we have to go out on these dates. It's the process. I don't know why individuals are getting on these shows and then they don't want to go with the process.
Trust the process. Trust the process.
Trust the process. So I'm like, it's what it is. And he should have been like, not what he should have been, but he could have taken the position of just, she said it, you know what? Thank you. Again, this shows her character. Thanks, Liz, for coming to me as a woman, a stand-up woman, letting me know what happened, letting me know that because really he kind of leaned into her, really.
Right. She was just sitting there minding her own business, right? He was just
like, she was surprised. So I was just like, for you to get so taken back. His reaction to her, what they showed at that dinner table was really interesting to me. Like a lot of his looks, because remember at one point she was kind of looking at him like she was thinking, what is he getting ready to say?
Right, what's going on?
Like something changed. Like she seemed like she was really taken aback.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I know. And then she did, because she was like, hey, if you want me or not. You know that? She said that. She was like, this is my line, catch it and grab it or miss it. Miss out.
That's right. And as we always said too, we ain't got to beg nobody.
Ain't got to beg nobody, right?
Nobody. All right. Now, come on now, David. Like, I'm sorry. Just right.
Dude, yeah, I was like, done, David, done. So, yep.
Should have had a double elimination this week. One man and one woman.
Next week?
I said should have had a double.
Oh yes, right.
One man and one woman should have been. It should have been him. Should have been David. Sorry, David.
Did it wrong. On this show. I just don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows 100%, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely.
And dude, you've been through this before. I guess maybe that's why you said whatever, because you've been through this before.
Too bad. Then so what? Do it till you're satisfied. Do it till you get it right. So I'm just saying, you know how I feel on that. Don't try to make somebody else carry the baggage for what somebody else did. If your last two relationships didn't work, Liz doesn't have anything to do with that.
Nothing.
Liz does not have nothing to do with that. So treat her accordingly. She has no idea what you went through in your other ones, all that in the beginning. Just don't want anybody to leave. Well, then don't make anybody leave. So there you go.
Exactly.
Right. He has me hot on that, Shotty. Sorry, family. I'm hot on this David with this.
I know. He tore his tail. I'm sorry. He tore his tail with me with the chat suite.
He tore his tail. Didn't he, Shotty?
Well, fast forward to I'm just gonna say one thing about Kyra and Jason's little intimate dinner. They are really a vibe, right? They are a vibe. Yeah. Kyra and Jason. I'm sorry. I know you say you like, damn, the jury's out for you.
I know, but
you on that one, Beth.
They are, but I know what you're saying. It is looking like it's going in that direction.
Yes.
I just want to say one more thing about what I know you will talk about it in a second, but in the end, in the deliberation, men's lounge, Jason was too funny. Oh my goodness.
Yes. So let's get to that. Let's get to the gentleman's lounge. The gentleman's lounge. They got in the trenches. Oh my God. Tommy asked that $1,000,000 question. Yes. If it ended today, who you got? Who you got?
What? Oh my goodness.
And the flip-flopping that took place in that gentleman's lounge was just, I mean, I was astounded. I could not believe that.
Flip-flopping was the right word, as if they had talked to Cynthia Bailey. I was like, come on, flip-flopping me. Listen, we love you, Cynthia. You know we love you, Cynthia. But oh my God, they turned, I'm talking, honestly, you're going to let the family know. Shawty, the stuff they said, I didn't even know some of these people had even communicated.
Talked at all.
Let the family know, Shawty. Let them know.
Okay, so the usual, we know Chris, of course, said Amber, yes. AJ, of course, said Kyra. We accepted that. We assumed that would happen.
Yes.
Ron, of course, said Alexis.
Yes, that's right.
Jason, Kyra.
Yep.
Joelle.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep. Joelle said Kyra.
Girl, be quiet.
And David said Kyra. I was like, wait, what
you talking about?
Seriously, y'all been on a date before?
They showed him hug. I don't know if I've seen that scene before. I was like, what?
That was the first time, the first thing, the first episode.
Oh, what is he talking about? Seriously, I'm asking.
I don't know. Maybe they gonna, like you say, the editing, maybe they have gone out, but I didn't get the impression that they went out or did anything. But although Joelle did admit that because of, the thing about him and the little disagreement he and Bernicia had, that he just said that was on top of his head. He just said that he didn't really mean that. Joelle did say that though.
Which I didn't like that because I mean, you're too old to play that game.
Play that game, exactly. Right. Childish.
You will have a disagreement. You will have. I mean, maybe I said something wrong. Maybe I said something out of place. Maybe I overstepped myself as Miss Bernicia. But so then it was that big of a thing until when you would get in the lounge, you would say that your number one was somebody totally different. I mean. Because then who are you? Who are you in real life if we have a situation, have a
exactly.
You have to be able to handle this and know how to process past, going off on a little temper tantrum.
Exactly. I was just like, oh my God. And then, David, like now that talk about a temper tantrum. I mean, and I can promise you, David, Kyra does not want you, sir. I mean, I don't even know them, but I know she don't want him.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. When he put his hands on everybody's shoulder and said, we all going home. We're all family. David, if you didn't see it, David put his hand on the other two gentlemen's shoulders, AJ and Joelle. And as Tommy was saying, who was his pick? He said, well, I'm sorry. I guess we're all going home with Kyra. And I said, oh my God. And then Jason shot it.
Oh my God. When Jason, he was like, wait, what? He was like, dudes, what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? What you doing?
He said, they don't know. Do y'all know that we got a connection? He was like, do y'all know we've been kissing? He said, we've been kissing. Right. Not just no pet kissing. That's what he said.
He's like, back up off my girl. What you all doing? Like, oh my God. I'm talking, threw me for a loop. I was thrown for a loop with them saying Kyra is the number one contender in this whole situation.
I was like, go ahead, Kyra. I ain't got it, girl. You got him, honey. What you doing?
I mean, I loved Kyra from the beginning because I mean, she's beautiful and she's
classy. I mean, she's
very classy.
Yeah,
she is. She really is. So I mean, that's just like I said, this is David. I don't know what he's talking about. So yes, it was hot in that men's lounge. I do want to say something. I want to ask you about how you felt. Because I love when Kyra and Jason were at the art gallery and she looked at that picture and she talked about how, that picture was just a bunch of colors and things like that. And when she talked about when they were at the art gallery and she was looking at that one picture and she said, this picture reminds me of love. A lot of things coming together all at once. And because love has no formula, I said, oh my God, that's what I said. Yes, because it's so true. Like there's really no formula for it, because it's a lot of things coming together that can create and make that space. And I loved when Kyra said that. I just wanted to give you a shout out, Kyra. That was some good commentary. I love that.
I know, in my opinion of Kyra's changed. In the beginning, I was like, but I think she's sweet. She's like, and what do you say? Jason, she says the word he used, poised. She's so poised and just like she is. I like her.
Right. Yeah. Seems like she really knows how to handle us. But she's an attorney too.
Oh, okay.
Knows how to handle herself.
A lot of practice with that.
Right. Because that's what I see in her when she's talking. That she's never moved and bothered by anything. Like she knows how to handle herself under pressure. But when I was like, she's an attorney, so that's that's her thing.
Par for the course, right?
Almost her poker face on a lot of situations. So, but I like Kyra. I really do. I like Kyra. But yeah. That men's lounge shook it up, Shani. They shook it up in there. That was like, oh my God.
I'm so like anticipating what's going to happen next week, because that was crazy. I would say that was crazy. I'm curious to see who's going to be eliminated next week, because it's going to be on the ladies. I mean, ladies get to choose.
That's right. Absolutely. And it looks like David and Liz, everybody stay tuned, because David and Liz both stood up at the table in each other's face trying to get conversation and communication between each other, as in, I'm talking, be quiet. No, I'm talking, be quiet. Let me talk. You can, I don't know what this is going to
I know, right? I'm excited.
Yeah. This is going to be stuff. So yeah, I mean, who we thought was ready to love again. Each week, they show themselves as not ready to love. Everybody wants to love one person. I mean, the other ladies, it's a toss-up right now, Sean. I don't know who it will walk in the end together to grab these flowers.
I don't either, because then we see. Well, we're not gonna go. I was gonna go ahead. Because I saw another preview about Ron and Alexis. You saw that?
No, what happened?
Because he doesn't believe in God, a church, where he doesn't pray. And she was crying. She's like, that's she has to have a spiritual foundation, and that might be a deal breaker. I'm like, oh Lord, because I just knew they were gonna be a couple too. So who knows what's gonna happen with this child. So there you have it, sweet people. The Ready to Love episode. There you have it, sweet people. The Ready to Love episode 7 recap and commentary with the chat suite.
Yes.
All right. Give us a like if you enjoyed it. Give us a
big thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Please subscribe.
I know. And share it. Share with your friends.
Yeah. And then let us know who you want to see go next week in the comments below. All right. See you next time. Bye.